What's going on, guys? It's Dylan, and I'm back to do a non-spoiler review for the new AfterShock title that just came out this past week called Undone by Blood, The Shadow of a Wanted Man. Written by Zach Thompson and Lonnie Nadler, all the artwork done by Sammy Cavella. Let's get into this.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Now, if you guys have watched my weekly pickups rant that I do, or aka my weekly comic book rant, I talked about all my weekly pickups that I got from my local comic book shop, and I always do my pick of the week, and Undone by Blood was my pick of the week, and I thought this book was absolutely awesome. Spectacular artwork, and it's two different stories going on, so artwork is different in each part. There's a first part of the story that it begins with in the old school Western time, when this cowboy rancher is basically herding his cattle that has gotten loose, and he's herding them back to his stables. And while he's doing that, he has a funny gut feeling that something is wrong, and that somebody might have set him up and wanted him out of the house, and they wanted him gone far away. So once he gets his cattle herded back home, and he comes home to his wife laying on the ground all bloody, and she has been beaten up, and she tells him that they have some cowboy has taken their son, and he has to go hunt for his son, and he has to go find this kidnapper. And basically, when they came, this cowboy named Jed, he told the wife that, I want to know where the gold is. And the father tells the wife that the gold is just a myth, that there is no gold. So I don't know what this cowboy plans to do, if this gold is really just a myth, or if there is gold that he knows about and he's just not telling his wife. And the other part of this story is with this woman right here, and she's badass. She is really cool, and it takes place in 1971. The artwork, I'll throw a couple panels up above me. The artwork in this was absolutely awesome for both parts, the old Western parts, and then I really enjoyed the 1971 artwork that they use. The first panel that they bring in is just awesome. There's a little novel in the story, like 4 pages of some novel writing in the back, but it ties into what's going on in the story, so I would definitely recommend you reading that. I think the writing was decent for the novel in the back, for the paragraphs that they put, but definitely the writing in the comic book was a lot better. She is out for revenge. This woman, she has come back to her hometown after a year. Her family must have been killed a year ago, and she's come back for revenge. And the thing about the Western part that we're seeing in this story, it's a story from what I can tell, because she is reading The Shadow of a Wanted Man novel. She is reading this while she's on the bus taking her trip back to Austin. I believe it's, or back to Texas. I don't know if it's exactly Austin, Texas, but she's coming to a small town in Texas, and the cowboy, he goes out to hunt for his son, and she's out hunting for the killer. So the story's kind of parallel in a way, where she might be even taking things from this story of what this cowboy had to go through, and to kind of find the guy who kidnapped her, or kidnapped his son. And I think she might even be using some of this knowledge to find out who murdered her family. And she does a little digging, goes to some local bars, and she starts talking to this one guy, and he's telling her that the deaths happened over a year ago. There was a murder at a hotel, and he's like, yeah, everybody knew about that. It was a effing mess. It had the highway closed up for a few days. Family of 5 got caught sticking their noses where they didn't belong. And what he says is, way I heard it, whole damn thing started with an argument about a can of soda. ended with the daughter getting angry, getting away, screaming bloody murder. Down the highway, they cut her face up real good, basically making it seem like that maybe the girl even killed her family just to get a check, just to get the family inheritance. And it's looking like that might have been her, so she's getting real mad about that. So I don't want to get into any more, but this is a great cowboy western revenge story. Almost maybe even like detective, like where she's trying to figure out she has to do some work to figure out who killed her family and what is going on, because from what it seems, she had nothing to do with what happened to her family, and she was the sole survivor. And what's going on with the cowboy is awesome. He's gonna be tracking down who kidnapped his son, and I'm just so excited for this story. I'm a big western guy. I always loved watching the old school westerns with my grandpa and my father growing up, and this is just really cool, man, to see this in comic book form. The artwork is absolutely spectacular. The colors were absolutely phenomenal in this. Sammy Cavella did a great job having a difference between the shadow of a wanted man part and then the parts with the woman hunting down her killer in her time in 1971, because it takes place in two different parts, obviously, in the old western days and in 1971. But yeah, guys, so that's it. That's all I got for this one. Let me know what you guys thought about this book. If you guys picked it up, if you didn't, I highly recommend it. AfterShock is putting out some great content, and from what I see in the previews, they only are going to be putting out more amazing books. So I can't wait to check out some more of these AfterShock books. There's even a preview for a story called God Killers, and that looks pretty interesting as well, and that comes out this upcoming week. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys thought, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way out, hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell notification so you get all updates on upcoming videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.